Welcome to the Ignite Your Mind podcast, a safe place for real talk on discovering powerful stories. We're talking about mental health, real business journeys, and hearing inspiring stories. My name's Sanjay Patel, and I'm a transformational life coach. And this week, I have the amazing entrepreneur that is Alexa Taylor, baby coach, model, an all-round lovely person. She talks about her stories through her burnouts and what she's learned to overcome them. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so welcome to another episode with Ignite Your Mind. Myself, Sanjay, and I've got Alexa Taylor, aka the London Baby Coach, aka Alexa Taylor Model, and everything else you do. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Very well. The sun is shining. We're in lockdown, but it's okay. Okay, so we just had a technical difficulty, but we're back. You can probably see Alexa's got a different background. So we've got to adapt in these hard times. So yeah, as I was saying, so Alexa runs her own business. I'll let her explain what she does. But the moral of what I'm trying to put out there from this podcast and my podcast coming up is that it's all about people's stories. And in their struggles, what they've done, their objections they overcome, and just really showing that you can do things when you put your mind to it. So, yeah, tell us a little bit about you, Alexa, and what you do.
Okay. So obviously I'm Alexa, and I currently run one business that's called the London Baby Coach, and it's basically I'm a sleep consultant for babies. Obviously, lots of people are always like, a sleep consultant for babies. Obviously, it's more about working with the parents. They often come to me with help for things like getting babies into routines, getting their babies to sleep through the night, how to kind of get them into healthy sleep habits. So I've been doing that now for, nearly 2 years, I want to say. I started it, under a different name, and then I had a rebrand, and then now it's the Baby Coach. But yeah, I've been working with kids for as long as I can remember. So that's the first part.
You're basically like a baby guru.
Yeah, it used to be the Baby Whisperer, and then now the Baby Coach.
The good old times, eh? Okay, nice, yeah. And what else do you do?
So I actually also do modelling in the day, and that's kind of probably where the business grew from, because I got the opportunity to do modelling since I was about 19, and at the time I was sort of doing more full-time nannying, and then transferred over to night nannying, and then I was like, actually I'm really good at working with babies, like sleep and routine. So I was like, how can I combine the two? Because obviously doing a night shift, getting 30 minutes sleep and then going to a shoot wasn't really professional, but I was determined to still be able to do both. And also modelling obviously isn't a very consistent income. So I was just like, how can I now turn this routine side into a business? And that's how it was born, really.
So I've got a question for you. Now, I'm just asking this because I've known Alexa for quite a while. What is your average night's sleep? Like, how many hours average do you get? Do you think over the last, let's say, 10 years? Generalize it.
As in, okay.
Considering like what you do and work-wise, like just an average.
Okay, average. Oh, Jesus, a night, probably 4 hours.
4 hours. You get 4 hours on average a night.
Oh, but I mean, now not as much, because obviously the business is now enabling me to do more work in the day rather than nights. But previously I was working like 5 nights a week, and I probably get, sometimes there was one baby I worked with and I'd get like half an hour a night, and then I'd go to a shoot the next day. So I think now I'm kind of making up for that, which is where the average is shifting, maybe.
So hold on. So if you're doing sleep training or night nannying, you might get half an hour sleep a night and then go to work modelling the next day.
That's what it was when I first decided to create the business. Yeah. And then now, when I do like a sleep training job, I'll probably get it would be about 4 hours. I'd probably normally get like a chunk and then another chunk and another chunk.
So like, how does that impact your work the next day? Like if you've had like a minimal amount of sleep and you're still going to work the next day, like how does that impact you?
I mean, at the time, I definitely just obviously go into adrenaline override mode, and I just do everything to get through the day, and just keep going, and be like, okay, I'll be fine, like another couple of hours and I'll just be able to sit, and then I'd probably then obviously go back to work, and then it wouldn't really be until the weekend I would then be like, I'm so tired, because then you stop, don't you, and your body's a bit like but I think I always say I'm someone, like, especially when I first started out, I was always like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'll sleep when I'm dead. And that worked fine. And I loved it because it was like, yeah, I'm doing modelling, I'm running business, I'm working nights, I'm like doing everything, and it seemed great. And then I got to a point where I had like mass burnout, and then I was like, this is not healthy, this is not good. So I've adapted things within how I do my services, in terms of I will make sure I leave a week at a time between each time I do a sleep training. So it might be like I'll have one, then I'll have a break for a week, and then I can do another one. So I've got time to recoup and actually then have some decent sleep. Because when I had my last burnout, I did like 3 weeks back to back, and then I was modelling every day for 2 weeks non-stop. So I was just like, I was dead.
Yeah. Okay, so this is an interesting topic because the word or the phrase burnout has been used quite a lot, and I've heard it quite a lot, especially when you enter the entrepreneurial world, where it's work, business, impact, do whatever you can sort of mentality, mindset. So how many burnouts have you had, would you say?
Proper ones, I'd say 3.
You had 3 burnouts.
Yeah.
Okay.
In
So
the last 3-4 years.
in the last 3-4 years. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. So for anyone that's listening that is potentially working ridiculous amount of hours, trying to build their business, trying to do whatever they can, and is entering that phase of a burnout, I mean, talk us through your journey through one of your burnouts. Like, what happened when you entered it? How did you know you was in it? Then what happened when you got out of it?
So I'd probably say the first one, I knew it was happening because I started having like anxiety and I had a panic attack. I know obviously lots of people can have panic attacks for different areas, but I was going to work, and it was at a time when I was planning my best mate's hen do. I was working 5 nights a week. I'd started a business. I was modelling. I was also in Miss Universe Great Britain. So obviously it was clearly I was doing way too much. And I was getting ready to go to work, and I could not catch my breath, and I was like, oh my god, and it is that feeling like in my chest. I felt like someone was like stamping on me, and I rang my mum straight away, and I was just like, oh my god, like I don't know what's happening. And then I still went to work that night. I then went late, and I was like, I'm really sorry. Like,
You still went to work?
Still went to work, yeah, because at that time it's like if I don't work, I don't get paid.
Yeah.
So I did still go, but then I was like, Jesus, like something has to change. Admittedly, nothing did really change. I just then tried to better manage my time in the day. So I just kind of make sure I'd stop, so I wasn't constantly running around as much. And obviously, as time went on, things got less like me needing to be on it with stuff. And then the next one, it was actually not long after I'd moved in with my boyfriend now. I actually don't know what happened. Like, it was very weird. There wasn't a clear sign like a panic attack. I just all of a sudden became really like down, like really, really down. And I'm not someone that I would say is a depressive person. But it got to a point where my boyfriend was like, I think you should go see a doctor, because I couldn't stop crying.
So what happened when you said you were down and you couldn't stop crying? Like, what was the trigger, or did it just happen like without you knowing it, or what was the scenario?
There was definitely a motive. It was because I wasn't getting paid by work, and hadn't been paid for like 3 months. So very easily I accumulated debt. I was then borrowing money, and I was like, this is awful. I was so out of control of it. And then I was then having to rely on like a new partner. It all then felt like I was totally out of control, and I just didn't really like that feeling. And I think then that just kind of hit me, and my mind was everywhere.
Yeah. So you lacked control massively. You then financially were getting hit.
Yeah.
And then it was just mental exhaustion that hit you. So it was all those 3 sort of things that literally pulled you into that burnout.
Yeah. And then I would say the last time was a combination of both. So that was bad. That was a really tough one. I kind of wiped myself out of work for a month because I then couldn't get back in it. So that was probably the worst one. Okay.
So as this is all, your story and your journey, let's keep it positive. How did you pull yourself out of it? Like, what was your key things you did, and that if it happened again, you wouldn't be able to enter it?
So one of the first things was getting help, someone to help me manage everything. It'd been suggested for a while.
It's hard to do, honestly, because there's a lot of people that do it, and they just won't look for help. They won't talk, and this is what I'm trying to say. Like, just talk to someone. So fair play to you. Well done. Sorry, carry on.
I guess it's kind of 2 types of help then, because one was I got a VA, so she was able to help me with just like the little tasks that were the nitty gritty bits that I used to feel bogged down by, because obviously they're not huge things like doing invoicing, but it's always that thing like, oh God, I now have to go and do my invoicing, and you've just worked tonight, worked today, and it's like, it's the last thing you feel like doing. So that was the first thing, and I really struggled with that. I remember we had the conversation before, and I was like, I don't know how to let go of control, like
Yeah.
it's built up, and it's like,
Yeah.
give that responsibility to someone else. But actually that was an absolute game changer. Like honestly, that was a real weight lifted.
So hiring that virtual assistant
Yeah.
completely changed the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it meant that I had more energy and time to put into the other aspects of the business that I needed to grow. So that was definitely, and then also putting in place, making sure I had breaks in between jobs, because that was when I had the big burnout, and I was like, I can't do that again. Like that did wipe me out, and I was just like, right,
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, and then I did get my own personal help, like a therapist, and she's been really good to help me sort of get out of it as well. And she specialises in people that own businesses, so really, really helpful.
Amazing. So for anyone listening, you would say is to talk, hire help, basically support.
Yes, yeah, and don't be afraid to reach out for help. Like that was the biggest thing. I've always been like, oh, I've got it together, I can handle this, I can do this, I'm fine on my own. And it's like, well, actually you're clearly not, and stop trying to prove something, because you can't do it all. And I was thinking I could and I should. So it was really nice to it's okay. So yeah.
Interesting. Okay, cool. I just want to dig a little bit deeper into your because you've never had we haven't had the all sunshine and rainbows and then burnouts and then figured out what to do. Like what was your upbringing like?
Oh yeah, definitely going deep.
What was your childhood like? Let's put it that way. What was your childhood like? What you remember?
I feel like I'm now talking to my therapist. So it was tough. It definitely wasn't easy. Let's put it that way. Like grew up basically in a single parent home since I was 9. And you know, we've got those stories of 3 of us living in a 1-bedroom flat, eating dry pasta, all the kind of things that you just don't think of a childhood. But also I had loads of many happy memories. My mum's always been like amazingly positive. And I kind of feel like growing up, she always saw this sort of like entrepreneurial side in me. So like when I was 12, I started my very first little business, and it was like making bracelets, and we used to go to car boots and try and sell them and all that kind of stuff. So I think growing up, I've always had that, and I've had someone pushing me to figure it out, which has been amazing. So good and bad.
So you started a business when you were 12, selling bracelets. That's it. That's good. I mean, I get that. I get the graph side of it. Like I remember I was doing paper rounds for my dad when I was like 9, 10 years old, like cycling on my bike, delivering papers like early in the mornings. And yeah, you're just earning your pocket money. You're just earning your keep, aren't you? So yeah, I think that's sometimes instilled in you when you're younger. If you've done that when you're younger, then it's gonna have a ripple effect throughout your life. So no, interesting. And okay, so I've got a couple of questions for you, which I've written down preempted because I know you. But so what do you think the most common reason people fail or give up what they want to do?
I think it's a mixture depending on where they're starting. So the first thing could be if they're already in a job. It's dedicating time. It's also then realizing how much time you do need, because there's that thing of, okay, well, if you're willing to spend 2 hours of watching TV, you can put that 2 hours into something you're trying to work on. And I think many people sometimes, if they are working on a business, it can be really hard to have that drive. Self-belief, definitely one. I don't know anyone that doesn't have that moment of, oh, can I really do this? Should I really do this? Should I make that jump? All that kind of stuff. It's a real, because it's you, and like if it's you on your own, it falls on you. So I think definitely a self-belief thing. Lots of people say money. I wouldn't say that was mine, because I always found it that like I'd make other ways to make money, but I think that's obviously having multiple sources of income. But just I think that could be another thing that people think is an issue. But I think if you can really try and find ways to start a business on minimal money, you can. And also getting the support and the help. Like I think that's why things like podcasts are great. People can listen to them, they can get advice, they can get tips, and that's how you can grow it on your own.
Okay. And what would you say the best thing about running your own business is? In your opinion, everyone's got different things and different things they love about it. What's yours?
I'd say one is not working for someone else. I
Mhm.
know that sounds really like,
No, it's
but
fair. It's fair comment.
there's only 5 million people that are self-employed compared to X
Yeah,
amount of people.
yeah,
But it's just, I am someone that likes things certain ways, doing things my way. So that is one thing that I quite like. It's, I guess, another control thing. And then the other thing is the freedom. Like, as
Mhm.
much as I know, I feel like I have to give up many hours to do things, especially working. But I also, I get to go on holiday when I like. I can go to the doctors when I need to. I don't. There's again, it's not having to rely on someone above me to say when I can and can't do something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
yeah,
think absolutely. Like having that piece of control, and I've always been under the assumption that I've worked in the corporate world for 14 years, and I've always been told, I've always had stories that basically you're working for someone else just to fill their pockets of money.
yeah,
It is a good experience at the same time, like, absolutely, and I don't take that away from it. I don't regret doing it, any of it, but
yeah.
absolutely, when you work for yourself, like you're in control, it's your own business. You dictate how much you earn, you dictate how much you work, and that sense of freedom is, I think, is second to none. So yeah.
Yeah, it's so fulfilling. Like,
Mm,
especially I think because of the job that I do as well, like being able to help other people, and then when I get that feedback, and it's like, oh wow, I actually just did that. Like, that's really cool. It
yeah,
feels really good. So I
yeah,
think, so, yeah, that also helps.
100%. What's the best advice you've ever received?
Be realistic with your expectations.
Oh,
Um,
oh, okay. Be
yeah,
realistic with your expectations. I like that. Okay.
yeah, from both sides. So from what you're giving to other people and what you expect from other people. I
Mm,
think, you know, the word boundaries is thrown around a lot nowadays, and I think rightly so. It's so important to set your boundaries, and that is something I am not very good at personally
yeah.
and work-wise. And it's something I'm obviously now learning, and I'm really having to focus on it. So I just think if you know in your mind what you're after, then set that out from the get-go.
Mhm.
But also, if you, I'm such a yes person, I would always be like yes, 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 yes. So like, even just having to set that thing of like working every other week if it's nights, that was really hard for me to get my head around, because I just want to be like, yes, I'm available, yes, I can do this, yes, I can do that, but it's
Mhm.
not realistic and it's not healthy. So I just think, make sure you've got a clear head of what you can give,
Yeah.
and give people deadlines. Be like, oh, if they say, can you do this, be like, yeah, absolutely, however, I can't get that to you till Friday.
Mm.
Just from the get-go, be honest, be upfront, and that will just save a lot of
It's
stress.
setting boundaries, isn't it? Like being able to dictate when you can get something in, when you can finish a project, when you can do some work, when you can work. Like it's 100%. Like especially when you're in control as well.
Yeah.
Um, cool. Okay, so I've just to sort of finish off.
Mm-hmm.
I've got about 5 or 10, depending how many we get through, of some quick fire questions.
Oh
I want
god,
you to answer them as quick as you can, if you can. Okay.
as I've heard
Um,
this morning, I might not be so quick.
that's fine. That's fine. So, if you could be any animal in the world, what animal would you be and why?
An elephant.
Why?
So I just love them. They're so, like, they're really big, majestic, they're strong, but they're also like really sensitive, and they're thick skinned, but they're like soft souls. So I just kind of think, well, maybe that's a little bit of me. But I've been obsessed with elephants since I was little. I did like volunteering in elephant sanctuaries, so just I'd love to be an elephant.
Don't
Or a
you
cat.
sponsor one as well?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah. Oh, she
Yeah.
died. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. She was a really old elephant, so
okay.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's yeah.
Interesting. Oh, I like that. I like that. Yeah, I'd love to give an elephant a hug. Maybe when we're out of lockdown. Hey, what was the last gift you gave someone?
Oh, last gift I gave someone.
I'm a
Easter
gift
egg.
giver. Go on.
At the moment, currently is Easter eggs.
Mhm.
I guess in a space of a few days, it was all at the same time. I sent my cousin's little boy a puzzle for the lockdown.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
yeah. Um,
Okay.
can't do hugs. That's the shameful truth.
Yeah, no, not yet anyway. Okay, cool. What chore do you absolutely hate doing?
Or cooking, cleaning, cooking, cleaning.
Could say both if you want to.
Probably cooking. No,
Okay,
cleaning. Oh, I don't know. Both.
okay, fine. If you could time travel, where would you go?
Or the Maldives.
Yeah. Why the Maldives? Apart from the obvious.
Yeah, just, I mean, it feels really far away. It
Mhm,
feels like it's blue, tranquil, peaceful,
mhm.
nature, just light, airy. You always see like blue visions and like, sort of crystal clear, and it just feels fresh.
Yeah, nice. What's your favourite ice cream flavour?
Actually, vanilla, and that's a really vanilla thing to say.
Ah, vanilla. I love that though. I love that. Okay, that's fine. I like vanilla. I actually really like Neapolitan. I'm gonna have some
Oh,
vanilla.
I mean, yeah, if we're talking about going to Italy.
Remember that? That's an old school
Oh
ice cream.
God, I can't remember the name. Oh my God. I literally had it the whole time I was in Italy this year in Feb. I can't remember the name of it. It gives with an N, I think. No, it's lost me.
No.
But vanilla, if I'm at home, pot of
Vanilla.
candle.
Literally just straight vanilla.
And Ben and Jerry's fish food, but I just love a
Fish
bit of
food's the one.
vanilla. And that, like, I always spoil it up so it goes like gooey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love
Yeah.
it.
Okay. What was your favourite subject at school?
Interesting, I actually enjoyed maths.
Why?
I was good at maths. I don't know. I quite like the numbers and stuff, but I'm quite good at like figures.
Are you good at maths and stuff?
I think so. Yeah, I'm okay.
Good. I might need your help then because I'm useless at it. Okay. A penguin walks through the door right now wearing a sombrero. What does he say and why is he here?
Is that the right country?
Oh God. I don't know.
Oh, let's do it again. Tequila.
Yeah.
He's here to liven up the party and make everyone feel good.
Everyone loves penguins. Penguins are my favourite animals. That's why I put that question in there. Okay, and last but not least, who would win in a fight between Spider-Man and Batman?
Oh, Spider-Man.
Oh, really? Why?
Oh, because he's like all nimble and like.
But Batman's just powerful.
He is.
He's the Batman. He's got the Batmobile. He doesn't need the web.
Yeah, that's the thing. Spider-Man doesn't need all the gadgets. He can just do it himself.
That's true. All right, you got me on that one. You got me. On that one. Okay, cool. Thank you, Alexa Taylor, for your time. I hope this has been helpful. Anyone that has a baby at the moment or a newborn or is pregnant that's going to have a baby, I will put the links down for the London Baby Coach, which is Alexa. Reach out. You're always plowing out free content on your Instagram. I see you replying back to loads of messages, just giving loads of tips and stuff for anything baby related. So obviously it's always helpful to have an expert involved. And yeah, no, thank you very much. I hope this has been helpful for anyone as well that is going to be self-employed, that's talking about burnouts especially, because I know that's happening quite a lot at the moment. Last but not least, how are you finding lockdown?
To be fair, as much as the money worries are there, I'm actually finding it really positive. It's given me the time to really sit and focus on stuff that I've had on my to-do list for a very long time.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we can't control the situation, we can't change it, so just try and make the most of it as you can. Obviously there's this whole thing of like learning a new language. If that's something you want to do, then do that, but also no pressure, just enjoy it and take it for what it is rather than worrying about it.
I panicked though when it first started happening.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, when it first happened, I always say this little line that I felt like I watched my personal stock exchange go down the hill, because I was like, that's it. Like, I've got no way of making income now. But at the same time, you have to try and keep positive. Otherwise, you're just going to drive yourself insane.
Can't control what you can't control, but you can control what's going on within you. That's what I say. That's what I say.
Oh, I should write that on my wall. There you go.
I'll send it to you. Don't worry. I'll send it to you. Cool. All right. Well, look. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Air high five.
Air high five.
Yeah. I will speak to you guys. I'll see you guys on the next one.
Perfect. Thanks for having me.
No worries.
Thank you for listening to the Ignite Your Mind podcast with myself, Sanjay Patel, and my amazing guest today, Alexa Taylor. This is a safe place for real talk on discovering powerful stories, talking about mental health, real business journeys, and hearing inspiring stories. Alexa touched on her burnouts and how she overcome them. I hope it was valuable to you. Please do subscribe if you listen to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, and we'll see you next week.